जय श्री माता जी। ऑनलाइन उपस्थित सभी साधकों का हम स्वागत करते हैं। सर्वप्रथम सामूहिकता में कुंडलिनी चढ़ाकर बंधन लेंगे। वी विल हैव कलेक्टिव बंधन। तीन महामंत्र और श्री गणेश मंत्र का उच्चारण करेंगे।
त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुण्डलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्षप्रदायिनी माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री गणेश साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो
लक्ष्य केंद्रित करेंगे हमारे सहस्त्रार पर। श्री माता जी, कृपावंत होकर हमें निर्विचार अवस्था प्रदान कीजिए। इसी अवस्था में हम परम पूज्य श्री माता जी की अमृतवाणी को ग्रहण करेंगे।
I didn't know how to start the topic with. When Sahasrara was opened, I thought of trying self-realization only on one lady. She was an old lady, and there was another lady who also started Kava. This old lady got a realization, and then the another lady was much younger. She told me that she gets fits and she gets possessed. Oh my God. I said, how will I give her realization? But somehow she got cured very fast. And she also got her realization. It's a very unknown knowledge. Also, human beings in their ego do not want to accept that they are not yet complete, that they have to have their realization. Also, their style of life was such that they had no time for themselves. I found it very difficult to convince people that you must take your self-realization, because they thought it is something imaginary. It is very far-fetched. And they only believed in gurus who would say, all right, do this much of ritual, karma kand. That's all. And they were doing all kinds of rituals with the kind guidance of their gurus, without knowing that you have to first know yourself, which is said by all the great incarnations, all the saints, clearly. It is not that it was only my idea that people should get their self-realization, but it was the idea of all those people. They said one after another for centuries that seek yourself. Even Christ said, know thyself. Muhammad Sahib said the same. Nanak Sahib said the same. But nobody tried to know that these rituals are not the end of life. They will not serve the purpose, and that you have to have realization. So those two ladies only got realization. And with that, I thought, let's go to the seashore. And about 30 people came with me. And they were talking in a very funny manner as to how they can get self-realization. They don't deserve it. They have not been very good people, all kinds of things, condemning themselves. And in that lot, I got about 12 people altogether, inclusive of these two ladies who got realization. This is a sign that the movement of knowing yourself is very, very slow. And people don't understand why should they know themselves. I was quite disappointed because nobody understood me. But one day it so happened that in one of the programs, one lady came. She was possessed. And she started talking in Sanskrit language. She was just a maid servant. And everybody was surprised. And she said, you don't know who she is. And then she started describing me from the Saundarya Lahari. I was wondering what's the matter with this lady. Like a man she spoke. Her voice was like a man. People may believe it or not, but she was very possessed. And then they started asking her. And then they came and asked me whether what she's saying is true. I said, you should find out yourself. Because those days people were such that if you tell them anything like that, they would turn their faces. Only the kind of false gurus who would say, all right, you give me 5 rupees. They'll be very happy that you can purchase the guru now. You don't have to bother about anything. You don't have to do anything. So with that, gradually, it started working out. And I remember that these people who got realization asked me that, Mother, you allow us to do Durga Puja. Durga Puja was regarded as something very difficult. And the Brahmins were normally not ready to do it because they were not realized souls. So they used to get into fits and into all kinds of problems. So they called the Brahmins, 7 of them, and told them, you just don't worry. Nothing will happen to you because now you are facing the reality. It's not some sort of a Murti Puja or anything. It's a human being. They were quite frightened. They came down. But something happened to them. With great confidence, they started all the mantras, everything, and the vibration started flowing everywhere. Even we were very close to the sea, I found the sea was roaring. But people didn't understand. Except for these 7 people, they said nothing happened to us, we did everything so well. I think that was the first miracle also. See, the trouble with human mind at this level or at this time is that they have too much of self-importance. And they think no end of themselves. So already they think we are great. What is there to know ourselves? We know ourselves very well. So the basic seeking power is humility. If you think you know everything, you cannot humble down and you cannot seek. Even if you seek, they don't want to follow anybody's path. They say, we have our own path, we'll follow our own path. We'll do whatever we want to do. And like this, I faced many people in different countries who just came to listen to my lecture, that's all. But they wouldn't take realization. And some of them did take realization, did. They got it, but they got it lost. Somehow, this was such a funny story for me that I am giving them realization. I am taking no money for it, nothing. I used to travel on my own. But despite that, why is it that the people don't realize the value of self-realization? Then a gentleman who got realization in the first lot, he told me, today is a consumer society, as they call it, whatever it is, that unless and until you take money from them, they will never value it. Let them feel that we have paid for it, for our realization. So at the gate only you should keep somebody to take money, otherwise they will not take it. I said, but you cannot sell it, it's falsehood. You cannot sell self-realization to people. He said, then, you see, you won't be successful. With other gurus, this is the main thing, is that they just accept the money. Even they tell them, people bring so much money, do this much, there is a fees. And that's how only the ego is satisfied and people take to false people. This falsehood, they may realize later on because they suffer a lot with all kinds of physical, mental problems. But by that time, they are gone cases. Now this Sahasrara has not been yet described in any one of the books, though they have talked about it. In our ancient books in India also, they have talked about Sahasrara, but nobody has described it except that it has 1,000 petals. At least if they had mentioned something about it, would have been easier for me to show that, see, this is written in the book. Because people are like that. It has to be written in some book, and that only they accept. It's a very difficult situation. Because nobody had given a collective realization. So nobody had written to that extent except for 1 or 2 people who wrote clearly about Kundalini. But I wouldn't say it was so clear because it was all in poetry. So people would sing the songs, but they would not understand. But I was thinking how these people who are lost, here and there under some sort of a seeking, what will happen to them? And how will I be able to give them self-realization? experiences were so horrid. But doesn't matter. I went on and on and on. And I worked it out. Of course, we met some people who were also very cruel and nasty, who troubled me and troubled Sajogis. All these things should have really dampened my enthusiasm. But on the contrary, I started thinking why people are like this. Then I realized one thing, that we cannot have the whole world to get self-realization. This is the last judgment. At this time, people have to decide what is the most important thing. They have to know themselves and understand what they have got. It's not just having a big number that will help us, but really solid Sajogis. Then I found there were people who got cured of many diseases, but most of them got lost. Some of them who were drug addicts gave up drug addiction. Drinking, they gave up. Smoking, they gave up. I never said a word that you give up this or give up that. I knew once the Kundalini rises, they will automatically give up. And it happened. And that's how people became so clean, so beautiful, and started enjoying their life. But nobody would believe them. When they went round and talked to people, they say, oh, you are gone mad. They couldn't believe how they have stopped drinking, how they are not smoking. We want to drink. What is this? See, so the identification I found of these people were mostly with the very loose type of enjoyment. They enjoyed very loose type of thing, which had nothing to do with the spirit. Gradually, of course, it started working out. But still, I must say that we can't expect in this Kali Yuga to have billions and billions of people in Sahaja Yoga. Though it's my desire, it's your desire, and you want them to get their self-realization, by which so many good things can happen. Firstly, your physical self improves. Many people have been cured. Christ cured only 21 people. I don't know how many thousands have been cured with Sahaja. Also, there's another very big problem with human beings, that they read all kinds of books and they have no clear-cut idea as to what they should find. What is their seeking? It's a very big problem. And whatever is in one book, they'll try to follow that. I mean, like they are shifting type of people. They shift from one to another. And then progress in Sahaja Yoga is much more difficult. Very difficult. Because if you are going on one path and you start shifting from one to another, you may go back. But in that they find it is their freedom. Actually, without realization, you don't have your freedom. of anything. Freedom is that in which you know what you are. You know what you are capable of. In the freedom, you are the one who should receive all the blessings. If these blessings are not there, then you are not free. There's something wrong somewhere in your own life. Because once you get realization, you become absolutely free people. Free means your own spirit guides you. The spirit, as you know, is the reflection of the divine, the God Almighty. If everybody has the same reflection and is awakened, then in the awareness, it works as if they know what is right and what is wrong, what is constructive and what is destructive. It is not some sort of a false satisfaction that you have, but in reality you feel the reality, and that is what it has to happen. The first thing in Sahaja Yoga that you get the experience of feeling the spanda, the cool breeze on your fingertips. Without the experience, you should not believe in it. That means a new dimension has come now in your nerves, that you can feel the system which has been not known to you. Sympathetic nervous system was there, but you never knew how it is working. The knowledge about yourself was so poor. But after realization, suddenly the whole thing got enlightened. Suddenly you started feeling it, the newness among us. Still sometimes you have to fight your ego. You have to get over your ignorance of things. Because realization gives you absolute knowledge. Absolute knowledge. It cannot be challenged. It's single, as they say, ekameva satya. And when you get that knowledge, then you can tally it also. You can find out if it is correct or not. This is something that has happened to all of you. And you have already got those vibrations with which you can feel. For example, there may be some dissatisfied souls with Sahaja Yoga. But you can find out on vibrations who are those people, what are they doing. On vibrations you can make out if those people have reached that state of reality or not. You can make out if these people who are trying to oppose you or trying to tell you something else, how far are they? On your fingertips you know. This is what is Qiyama, about which Muhammad Sahib has said. The other day, I must tell you an experience where there was one fellow who came from the television, and known as Star. And he started asking me very funny questions, which had no relevance. His name was Abbas, so I said, Abbas Miya, you are wasting your time and my time. Will you come to the right questions? So he said, I am against all fundamentalism. But I am not fundamentalist. How do you know I am that or not? So he said, I am trying to find out. All right. I said, you put your hands towards me. Now Muhammad Sahib has said, at the time of Qiyamah, your hands will speak. And you'll be amazed. Immediately he started feeling cool breeze on his hand. He said, "What's happening to me?" I said, "That's what it is." No use arguing, no use talking about it, no use inquiring. Just see yourself the experience. He just got so stunned. And after that, whatever he talked to me never published. So what I'm saying, if the people reach the truth, and they know this is the truth, nothing can change them, if they have reached the truth, I'm saying. You can see in the life of all the great people that they think this is the truth, not by just reading or not by just believing, but as an experience. That on their central nervous system, they can feel the truth, then it is impossible to change them. Like you can see, a seed becomes a tree, then you cannot make the tree into a seed. Seed is a seed. But when the seed changes into a tree, then you cannot bring it back to the seed. It may create more seeds, it's different. So in the same way, once you have got your realization, and once you have become one with the divine, then there is no question of you going down unless you yourself want to go down. It's very, very remarkable how you get this property, how you get this ability and this capability, and after that you don't lose it. Of course, first you must grow, and for that you have to meditate. But this meditation, once you do it, the whole being itself gets so enlightened and so beautiful that you don't want to change it. You want to be there and enjoy it forever. But of course you want to give it to others, because you see you are enjoying so much. Like on the street you find somebody starving and you are very full, then you feel like giving food to that person. In the same way you see in this world, people are madly seeking, running up and down, doing all kinds of things. They want to tell them. They may believe or may not believe. They may try to sort of absolutely deny you, defy you, also defile you. They can do anything. But you know for definite that you are on the right path, you are on the right state of mind, which is a sahaja state. In Sanskrit it is called sahaja avastha. Sahaja avastha. In sahaja avastha, you do not react. You do not react. You just see and appreciate. Now see, I came, I saw this beautiful, such an idea of Sahasrara, all the chakras, they have crossed over, gone up there, and from there they have. Very good expression. But any other person would say, oh, this color combination was not good. Why did they use this? Why don't they use something else? Like that, you see, finding faults with others. And this finding fault actually comes from your brain, which is not yet enlightened. You cannot enjoy anything because you react. All the time you go on reacting. If somebody says something nice, still you are reacting. If somebody said something bad, of course you are reacting. No question. So, for us to understand that we are not free to react, we are not that cheap to react. We are on a very high pedestal. What is our job is to enjoy. Enjoy everything. And that enjoyment is the blessing of the divine. Even you can enjoy the turmoil, the torture, everything you can enjoy if you see the point that nothing can happen to your spirit, which is the real light. Whatever you may suffer, whatever you may think is troubling you, actually this silent light of the spirit makes you absolutely, perfectly joyous. And you give joy to others. You don't design it, you don't plan it, how to give joy, but you just automatically give joy. And this giving joy is also effortless, surge, because you are in the sahaja state. In the sahaja state, you just see things. It's a drama, you feel. It's a different styles, different types, and you just see and watch and get the joy out of it. It is not important to say, I like this, I like that. No. That I which likes is nothing but ego and keeps you out of the enjoyment which is reality, which is real. Everything in this world that you find is troublesome, if you see from another angle, from a Sahajasthiti, you won't feel the troubles. But that higher life should be there. That higher standard should be built in within you. The other day I had a meeting with bureaucrats. And I told them, I know the pay is less. You may think that others get much more pay. They're having much more facilities. But there's one way you can really enjoy your work. If you have patriotism, Desha Bhakti. If you have patriotism for your country, no amount of sacrifice will satisfy you. You want to give everything. And you can go through all kinds of so-called dearth and depressive states without even feeling anything about it. And at the same time, your feelings become very deep. For example, you are traveling and suddenly you find somebody who is sick. You can feel it on your vibration that this person is sick. And immediately your sympathy and your love flows to that person. You try to help that person. If possible, you try to even cure that person. Just like that, your whole being becomes like an ocean which absorbs all the rivers and all kinds of watery things, whatever it is, within its abdomen, I should say. It just takes all that is there. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't trouble him. He is like an overpowering person with his love. He doesn't show his power. He doesn't bother about his self-importance. If somebody tries to insult you, all right. What is there, the insult part of it? And such people who have reached that Sahajavastha are the greatest creators of art, of music, of great thoughts. And that's why these survive. So many people write, but it goes out. So many people create, but nobody bothers. But those who are realized soul, whatever they create is of eternal nature, because they are now in the ocean of eternity. They are in the ocean of purity, where there is no idea at all of hurting anyone or troubling anyone. Such a protection is there for them. They cannot be harmed. Because after all, you are entered into the kingdom of God. So who can dare harm you or trouble you. Such a prosperity I have seen among Sahajogis, and such a generosity that they have, and such understanding about things. I don't have to give lectures now, don't do this and don't do that. No, no more. And those who are not yet already matured in Sahaja Yoga should try to mature. And those who are not matured and are troubling, don't worry about it. What can they? You should have pity. Should really have pity for such people that they are so immature. Today is something great I feel because 30 years I've been running up and down everywhere, and I've been able to gather so many people. There are so many Sahaja Yogis, see, and also all over the world. This is just a wee bit of that. So this is something was to happen, has been already described, has been prophesied by people that such and such thing will happen, that so many people will get their self-realization. Unbelievable it was, of course, but as now you see, how sweet is the feeling that we are all one. There's no quarrel, no fight, no bad ideas, and nobody likes cheap things. They want to have something that is pleasing and has a quality of understanding. I've seen people becoming poets, writing beautiful poetry. I've seen people becoming orators. Also I've seen people becoming very good organizers. But one thing is very important, is the humility. I said in the beginning, and again I would say, what will appeal to people is your humility. You should be a humble person, not think that you are something special, or not think that you are some sort of a, I should say, self-important person. Once you think that you are important, then you are not part and parcel of the whole. If my one hand starts thinking I am important, it's stupid. How can one hand be important? All hands are needed, everything is needed, legs are needed. How can one part be so important? If you start thinking like that anywhere in your journey of Sahaja Yoga, then I must say you are not in the Sahaja Avastha. So my own effort was to take you into that beautiful arena of Sahaja, where you will be absolutely one with yourself, one with the nature, one with all the people who are around you, with your own country and countries. Everywhere, the whole atmosphere, as they say, the whole Brahmand becomes part and parcel of you, and you are not separated from that. Then we can say the echoes. They call Ninad. The echoes of your being, of your life, can be easily seen, not in material advancement or in any other kind of a thing, but in the spiritual area, which is the highest. Or everywhere, in every country, there have been people of that quality, and till today they are all remembered. In the same way, you all will be representing a very great knowledge about reality in your life, in your creation, or in your working. In every way you can do it. The only thing that now we have to do is to decide how many people we are going to give realization? What we can do for realization? What should we do? This is the only thing, if you go on with your complete emancipation, will be done. You'll be surprised, it's like climbing a big, you can say, a mountain. But when you have reached to the peak, you can see everything very well, and you feel so satisfied that you are at the peak. So that climbing part, even some of you have to do it. It is all right. There's no problem. You can do it. You must have respect for yourself, love yourself, and understanding that you have to reach the peak of the mountain. And once you have reached the peak of the mountain, you will know you are there. And then you start showering all your love, affection, and everything that flows down the mountain. That is the life for you. It's the greatest type of life. Forget all other people, politicians and other people who were supposed to be great. Forget them. You are much higher than that, because you are already chiseled like a diamond with such style of life, which is very satisfying and also which is very much absolutely peace-giving. It gives you joy, it gives you peace, it gives you capabilities, it gives you so many things that you cannot count, like the 1,000 petals of your Sahasrara which are enlightened. God knows what all you can have with this. This is such a tremendous area you are in, the 1,000 petals. And from there people have gained all the knowledge about science, knowledge about all the great discoveries are from there. So this is what one has to realize, one's own esteem. Self-esteem is different from self-importance. You should have self-esteem. With that you will become humble. You will become very loving, because you are capable of love. And it is not forced on. I agree that from the ocean, the clouds rise and then they give rain and all that. But it is in the cycle of life they are doing it. They are not conscious of it. They don't think they are doing something great, because they are in the cycle. You are out of the cycle and still you are doing work without any feeling of self-importance. You are doing because you have to do it. Another cycle, not the natural cycle, but another cycle of awareness, where you are aware as to what you are doing. At the same time, you are very humble. You are very loving. You are very kind. You don't shout, you don't beat anyone, you don't say anything harsh to anyone, and you can manage the most difficult person. If somebody tries to be funny, you can always raise the Kundalini and be satisfied with it. If you secretly raise the Kundalini, the other person is finished. If you cannot raise it, then forget it. Forget it, he is a difficult person, it's a stone. Now in the stone, what can you do? You cannot make it flow the love and the dignity, all these qualities. It is not possible from a stone-hearted person. So forget it, that's not your job. That's not your job at all. So I would request that first of all, we should see how much humble we are. We have to be very humble. And that is your decoration, that is your beauty. So you have your love, which is pure, without any lust or greed. You love others only because you are in love. And then secondly, you are blessed with peace. You are absolutely at peace with yourself, and you'll be amazed with peace, wisdom will come into. You will be regarded as the wisest man, wisest woman, because you are at peace with yourself. Only in peace you can discover the truth. You can discover every solution that you want. You become very, very wise and sensible person, outstandingly great than others. You are not like common general people. Then you have joy. Joy is something I cannot express in words, but still, joy, as I have told you many a times, it is singular. It is not unhappiness or happiness. It is just joy. Just you enjoy. You enjoy everything, every company, every incident, every scene, every happening in your life, you know how to enjoy it. See, just joy has a great capacity. Once I remember I had gone with my son-in-law and daughter to see some historical place, and we had to climb a lot. We were climbing for about 3 hours. So naturally we all got tired. And there was a little resting place made of marble. So we said, let's spread out ourselves here. So when I spread it out, you see, they were so much saying, why should we have come here of all the things, this, all that, they were grudging. Then suddenly, this is the joy point. Suddenly I saw the carvings of elephants. So I said, can you see these elephants? Everybody's tail is differently made. They said, Mummy, how could you see the elephants' tails? We are so tired. I said, you also see, you just see that. Because this joy, what it shifts your mind from nonsense. You see, you just say it's all nonsense. You just shift your mind. This is the way you get joy. And goes to the thing that will joy you. Supposing there's a person who is quite boring, then what happens? You just see the humor behind boring, how a person bores you. And what you learn out of it is never bore anyone. So this joy has a speciality, that it teaches you the essence of joy of everything. If it's say a bad film, all right, still you enjoy because you see how bad it is. Supposing, of course, if it's a good film, then you can always see. But you do not go on with your mind how to criticize. This criticism business goes out of your mind. So what happens? Your mind shifts immediately from something that's ridiculous to something interesting in the same thing. So you don't criticize and you don't feel bad about it. Sometimes it so happens that people are amazed that how I tolerate such people. Well, I don't tolerate, I am not paying any attention, whatever the person may be doing. If you are of that nature, that's what we call as a condition where you are absolutely in the Turiya state. So Kabira has said, जब मस्त हुए फिर क्या बोले? When I have gone into that state of joy, why should I say anything? It is like that, a temperament which you have to understand and respect it. That is within you, but respect it. Do not compare it with others. Others are not at your level. So you are at a different level and you just try to enjoy it. Never feel that you are something higher or greater. No, never feel. What you should feel, that thankfulness that you are not mixed up with all those funny ideas and funny style of life. where you go on criticizing, this is not good, I don't like it, I don't like it. Who are you? You don't know yourself. When you say I don't like it, you are not knowing yourself. How do you know what you don't like? And I've seen people with very poor knowledge who are just knowing little bit here and there, are very critical of others. I don't know the reason why it is so, but maybe that they think no end of themselves. But this is what is very common. But if you know the absolute knowledge, then you become really humble, absolutely humble and sweet, gentle and kind. So, today is a great day, otherwise for me also I didn't know that I'll survive so many years to see this beautiful day. Because after all, it was very hard life according to other standards. But what is most joy-giving to me was creating Sahajogis and listening to them and talking to them. The way they were so sweet and so kind and so respectful. All this has helped me so much, and I must thank you for that. With your support, with your help, with your understanding, I could achieve it. If I could achieve it on my own, I would never have asked for this help of yours. But you are just like my hands, you are just like my eyes, and I need you very much, because without you I cannot do it. It's like channelizing. Unless and until you have channels, what's the use of being Adi Shakti or anything? How will you channelize it? If there's electrical movement, we need channels. Otherwise, it is a static thing. In the same way, I felt always that I needed more and more channels. And when it worked out, I was really, really in a very great spirit. So I thank you very much again for this day that has come. And I bless you from my heart that now you take over responsibility. You are a Sahajogi, so you have a responsibility also to give realizations to others. Don't keep to yourself. This has to be given to others. And you can explain, you can talk to them, you can really very well understand. Try to understand them and talk to them. And you must give realizations to others. Otherwise, you won't feel complete. To feel complete, you have to do that. May God bless you all.
निशब्द ध्यान में बैठते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपकी परम कृपा में हम सब एक प्रतिभाशाली व्यक्तिमत्व बन जाए। श्री माता जी, आपकी परम कृपा में हम सब आपके श्री विराट स्वरूप के अंग प्रत्यंग बन जाए। अपनी ध्यान धारणा और सामूहिक कार्य की तपश्चर्या से हम श्री आदिशक्ति के एक प्रभावी और प्रभावशाली माध्यम बन जाए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आज का यह सामूहिक ध्यान हम आपके श्री चरणों पर समर्पित करते हैं। कृपावंत होकर हम सबको और इस संपूर्ण विश्व को आशीर्वादित कीजिए। श्री माँ को प्रणाम करेंगे और सामूहिकता में कुंडलिनी चढ़ाकर बंधन लेंगे। आज का यह ध्यान केंद्र यही संपन्न होता है। जय श्री माता जी।